Hi everyone, in this short video I'd like to introduce you some practical examples of usage DevTools in Google Chrome. I suppose you already know that DevTool is like a set of developer tools built directly into the Google Chrome browser, and it's available in any version of Chrome browser. And to tell the truth, practically each browser has developer tools, and they look pretty similar, pretty the same. So let's consider the Chrome developers tool like one of the most commonly used. So each of you, I suppose, have an experience when you've just accidentally click on F12 button, and this kind of magic happens when something opens from the right side of your screen by default. Also, one more idea how to open these dev tools if you're working with it as a tester. You can point to any element on the web page and click inspect. That will also for sure open the web developer tools for you. If you're going to work with it, you can make it like more usable for you. For example, you can change the place of developer tools like from the right side of your screen into the bottom and so on and so far. For different example, just clicking here and providing the best solution for you. So why do we need this tool? Of course, like the main idea that come to your mind when you see this scope of code, of course, that's a great solution when you're trying to identify the bug that you cannot see on UI. Or maybe you've got some like not pretty clear error message, or maybe you'd like to recheck some styles because as you can see in the element tab you can and open in style you can see HTML, CSS and JavaScript, and I will for sure show you how you can work with it. So a great tool to perform root cause analysis, to identify backend bugs, and if you want to check if the page is implemented good by design. Also in the network tab, you've got like the time tab here, and you can uh, like check, is it appropriate time? Is it like a good performance while using this or that site? So let's like go through all the tabs that can be very useful for you as a tester. And I'd like to start not with like a tab, but one very interesting possibility of developer tools that is provided by it. You can use toggle device toolbar, which is placed here. And after clicking here, you will be able to check the applications, how will they look in the mobile version. That's quite good if we are going to identify the resolution and so on. But also, if we are talking about Instagram, this example was taken on purpose. Here, you will have some additional possibilities that cannot be checked in the desktop version. So, like go into the mobile version, I will be able to use the interface of the mobile version of Instagram and even to upload the photos from this using these abilities. Also, there are a lot of interesting tabs, and I'd like to start with the element tab. Again, you can inspect any element from the page and you will see it in the scope of the code on this page. You can not only like identify some information about this or that um, page, you can also do some stuff with styling. If you, okay, there is like TV and I'd like to play with the text on this page, so I can change its size, I can change or like exclude some moments. I can also make the picture like bigger or less. I can change the color, the type of cursor, and so on and so far using this just styles element. Also, I can even like uh, delete some elements. And for sure, you should understand here, you can see no more ratings displayed. For sure, after the refreshing the page, all the elements will become the same, all the fonts that you've possibly changed. Still, if you're working like on the demo and your customer has some ideas, that's a great way, like online, try something to make your application more usable or something like that. So, as you remember, we've passed the topic about HTML and CSS. Remember that HTML defines the structure of a page and CSS defines visual representation of HTML elements. So for sure, you can make some changes in these languages to check. Also, you can see something like that in the code. I'd like to point this moment. It looks like something very cute. It's, if we are talking about the code language, this sign like before and after something, after some part of the code will make this part unexecutable. So this cute meow means nothing for this side. So commenting makes the element to be ignored. Let it be like a little Amazon joke or something like that. But that's a very good example how inappropriate information can be found in the code of your application. If it's just now, okay, let it be so. But sometimes developers in rush can add into these comments information like sensitive ones, for example, logins, passwords, to make the life of other developer easier, yeah, if they're working together, so without going to another pages and other storages, they can place some of information here or left inappropriate comments, I mean some kind of inappropriate language here. And in this case, that's like your task to identify this kind of problem and for sure to delete this comment. So using elements tab, such problems like sensitive data or inappropriate part of the code can also be found. What else? Also, it's quite good to use console tab. For sure, you will have to some like very bad experience looking at this console sometimes, but calm down. Each side, practically each page contains some mistakes. You can see like post doesn't work properly or something like that. But it's not your task to identify and to try to fix all the mistakes. Of course, you will see errors marks in red, but these errors are usually not fatal and they should be paid attention only in case when the page is not working as it expected. So the console is quite usable in the following cases: when you click on some element and nothing happens, like you click in the button and absolutely nothing happens. So that's a great idea to go to the console and to check logs. When you are constantly getting errors from the server like 500, 503, that's always a good idea to look through the warnings that appear here. And when you trying to load the page and nothing happens, for sure some errors will help you to get rid of it. Also, you can add your own part of code for sure. For example, this code, after entering it here, will remove all the css from the page, and that's also a good idea, maybe not for this site where practically everything is built and it becomes unreadable, but for some usual sites, web applications, when you want to check the how will this application works without css when the internet connection is very slow, and our user will see like html, because html is uploaded first usually. So for sure you can also use some codes. Also sometimes your developers can provide you this short part of the code to check if it's gonna solve your problem or no, just for analyzing the bug you've experienced, you've found, and you want to report. Also, here you've got a network panel, I suppose the most popular one, because the network panel records information about each network operation on the site, including, like as it was mentioned, detailed timing data, HTTP request methods, like not only methods, but its status. And you can actually build your own representation of this table clicking anywhere, and you can select the columns, including like cookies, for example, that you want to see. Also, like you can, using this panel, you can see WebSocket data, response headers, and so far. In other words, this network panel, you can see all the data that is coming from the server side. And this data is needed. Yeah, here you can see the resources for the page to load. And when there are great cases to use the network tab, when you want to see the received content from the server here with all the information about this content, when we want to see the status of some requests, as it was mentioned before, yeah, the status, is it goes well or no, when you want to see how much time does it take to request, and if it seems like quite obvious for you, yeah, you can identify some bugs here. Sometimes that's like the only option for you to understand what goes like not very well. For example, some time ago, I've experienced like I were trying to open one link, and the all information I have on the UI side of the page without opening the DevTools was unexpected exception occurred during the request processing. Please refresh page or return to the main page. After refreshing this page like a couple of times, nothing pretty happens. So the only my best idea was to open the dev tools, and as you can see here, the problem is that I have no permission to view this page. So sometimes the dev tools will help you to identify what goes wrong if the UI won't provide you like with the full scope of the information that you need for testing. So I suppose that's all from my side. Just a short introduction for you to know main possibilities of DevTools. Of course, that's not all, and we can talk about each of these tab and even more tabs, much more. But for today, let's stop at this page. Join us to find out more about DevTools. See you. Bye.